Hey everybody, today we are going to make chicken with buttered leeks. This is truly one of my favorite chicken dishes. When I was going to cooking school in Paris, we made a dish very similar to this, and I had to do everything in my power not to lick the plate at the end. I didn't do it, but it was tempting. So grab yourself a Dutch oven, a heavy pot, get some extra virgin olive oil hot in that pot, and then take your chicken and rinse it off, pat it dry, and you're gonna wanna season both sides with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. I already did the other side here, so I'm just doing the top, but getting it nice and seasoned up. I have about 10 boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. So then you're going to lay them in the hot pot with the oil. Now I do about 3 pieces at a time so that they're not too crowded. I'm just going to get each side nice and golden brown, and then flip them over and do the other side. And then after they're golden brown, remove them to a plate. They will not be finished cooking, but just let them sit on that plate and accumulate some juices and start your next part. So we're going to make the leek part next. Leeks are part of the onion family. They're grown in kind of a sandy soil, so you need to clean them pretty well. Grab your leek and you're going to take the top part off, just the top little inch or two. Those are usually pretty tough. And then pull off the outer coating so you have a nice smooth leek. Also cut off the little root end and discard all of that. So take your knife and you're going to score down the middle of the leek. Don't cut all the way through, just score it open. And what this does is exposes the inside of the leek so that you can run some cold water through there and rinse off any sand or silt that might be trapped inside. Then go ahead and slice up your leek. And you're gonna get some nice, a really nice fragrance from the leeks, but you're gonna use the greens and the whites. Toss those into your pot and just start stirring and add a little kosher salt and black pepper. You wanna season as you go, but all those brown bits in the pot are going to be so good. So every once in a while, go back and stir that pot up, but you wanna cook those for about 10 minutes till they're nice and cooked down. Covering the pot also helps the steam kind of cook those faster. So after about 10 minutes, check your leeks. They should be nice and wilted. Go ahead and add your chicken stock. I'm using some frozen homemade chicken stock that I froze in ice cube trays, but you can use canned or boxed. Add your wine. I have a good Pinot Gris here. And bring that to a simmer. I'm gonna wait till my chicken stock kind of melts down, but bring it to a simmer. It'll thicken up a little bit and it's going to really flavor up your leeks. I like to make sure all the leeks are covered in there. Now go ahead and add your chicken back to the pot. The chicken, you can just nestle it all together. It can be crowded in there, piled up on top. Doesn't matter now. We're not going for golden brown. We're just going to cook it through. So get all your chicken in there, and then don't forget, all of that stuff on the plate is good. That's the good juices. So take your plate and make sure to dump all of that into the pot. So all your chicken is in there, and bring it to a simmer and cover your pot up. If you have any thyme, add it in there. I didn't have any, but it's okay. So after a few minutes, I'm gonna check to see if my chicken is cooked through and just kind of take a peek. You can see if the pink is gone. Usually by the feel of chicken, I know if it's cooked through. But I like to turn it over so that all those really yummy flavors get infused into the chicken. And like I said, if you have time, even rosemary would be really good in this pot. I didn't have any time today. It's okay. The chicken still was amazing. So go ahead and make sure your chicken's cooked through, and also pour yourself a glass of wine. I had a little bit left over and I thought, I'm gonna need to finish that off. And I always cook with a little wine that I like to drink. So check your chicken, make sure it's all good, and then what you're gonna do is actually pull the chicken out of the pot and put it on a clean plate. Don't use the same plate from before. You want to use a clean plate that has had no partially cooked chicken kept on it. So everything is cooked through. And basically I'm just kind of shaking off some of the shallots. You know, if some stay on the chicken, it's fine. We're removing the chicken so that we can kind of finish off the sauce that's in the pot. Now, when we finish off this sauce, we're gonna add some butter, we're gonna add some vinegar, bring it to a little boil, and then put it all back together. So there's a little bit of a process with this chicken, but believe me, it is totally worth it, totally worth it. So all the chicken is now removed, and this will just take a minute, so I'm not even gonna bother with covering that chicken. I'm gonna bring the stove up to medium high. Now you can see that this chicken does make a little mess on the stove. No worries, it's worth it, trust me. So give your leeks a stir, and you can see it's starting to simmer and boil there. I'm gonna add the butter, always use unsalted butter. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some white wine vinegar. So whatever you have, a few splashes. It's going to deglaze the pan and just make that sauce have a little acid flavor to it, but with the white wine. So good. So give it a stir and swirl that butter around, get it all melted. And this really just takes a minute or two. And make sure to flavor that sauce. Grab a clean spoon, taste it, make sure it tastes good to you, but add some salt and pepper. And you can see how it's thickening up. It's gonna be really tasty. Add your chicken back to the pot, and then you're actually ready to serve this chicken. So I promise you, this is one of the best chicken dishes I've made. My family devoured it. I should have actually probably doubled the chicken, but it's great served with a baguette because you want to mop up all those juices and all those leek flavors and parts. If you want this recipe in full, go to my website listed here. And there's also plenty of other information on the website, so check it out. Thanks for watching.